Welcome to Ask Ernie, your source for practical training and relationship advice for you and your dog. I'm Megan, here to answer the questions that every dog parent wants to know, straight from Ernie's postbag. Today we're answering, should I stop walking my reactive dog? Hi everybody, I'm Megan from Walk to Heal, and today I'm going to be answering the question, should I stop walking my reactive dog? Now, this is a question that comes up a lot in my client work, and it's actually usually me who's posing the question. And I've got to say that I'm often met with some reluctance or hesitation. And I totally understand. Most people who have a dog have inherited this belief that there's this golden rule, universal concept that every dog needs a walk a day. And I've got to say, from my experience, the years I've done this, I don't think that's true. Every situation is unique. And if you have a dog who is lead reactive, who struggles with other dogs or people or cyclists or mopeds or sounds from the city, and you're finding that they're reacting every single time you take them outside, then you're never going to be able to see change. This is because they're going to be in such a state of chronic activation and chronic arousal that they're never going to be able to fully work with their concerns. When I work with a client, the first thing that we do is manage the situation. We try and limit their exposure to the things that they find stressful as quickly as possible, in as comprehensive a way as possible. If you're interested in learning more about management and how it is often the first step to walking with your dog along their healing journey, you can subscribe to get your free copy of Meltdown Management. Now, I can understand if that's a bit difficult to take in. I support people who experience a lot of guilt about having to keep their dog inside. You might be thinking, how is my dog going to exercise? How am they going to socialize? And those are valid concerns, but I think what I would invite you to do is maybe just zoom out a bit and just try and take a bit more of a holistic approach. We can see a dog walk as a way to meet some of your dog's needs, but there are loads of other ways to meet their needs, and actually there might be some needs that aren't being met. So one of the key stones in my stepping stones framework is cultivating a dog's resilience. And we do that by making sure their needs are met through a variety of enrichment-based activities. And a lot of the times, this does involve removing the walks, at least on a temporary basis, to give your dog the time that they need for their nervous system to reset. Because if you can settle your dog's nervous system by limiting their exposure to their triggers and cultivating their resilience by making sure their needs are being met, that is when they're going to be in a place to learn new behaviors and skills. That is when they're going to be able to work with their fears from a more balanced and regulated place. Ready to settle your dog's nervous system so change is actually possible? Subscribe below to get your free copy of Meltdown Management.